Hello friends, this video is all about Object Relational Mapper or mapping, in short ORM in Django. As we know that a Django is a backend framework and it contains something called or the design pattern that is called MVT, Model View Template. So when you are creating an app in Django, like I have created one app by the name called category. If you see over here, I have a folder called apps, and inside that I've created a good number of apps: author, book, category, publisher, users. So I've created one dedicated folder by the name called app, and inside that I'm creating all the apps so that the project module looks very neat and clean. Otherwise it would become very cluttered if you are creating all the apps outside. Nonetheless, my topic today is about ORM, and I will be focusing on one particular model. I have a app called category underscore app, and if you expand this, we will always come across a file that Django would provide us by default, and that is called models.py. And if I double click on this, we will get to see right over here that the model I have created, a very simple model that contains only one attribute, which is of type char field. And already I have connected with my PostgreSQL, and it is already holding some tuples over here, and there are around 5 tuples are already inserted. But I will start everything from scratch as I show you how this ORM is going to work. But the beauty of this video would be we are not working on either Django REST framework, neither we are working on templates. Rather, I will be using something called Django shell. So from shell I will execute one by one few of the very popular ORM methods that would actually be responsible for performing CRUD operation. Okay, so let's get started. So how would you activate your shell? Well, for that reason you will write python manage.py shell. As you hit the enter, your shell will get activated. Here it is, your shell is ready. So let me clear the screen by pressing CTRL and L. That will clear the screen. Okay, now the first and the foremost thing is that since there are so many apps out there, I need to tell my shell that which particular app and specifically which model I would be working on. So for that reason I need to mention the path, and that's where the first thing comes in picture. Please take a note over here. I have a folder. Let me again collapse the entire folder structure. I have a folder by the name called apps. Inside that I have got the whole thing. So I would say that from apps, I have a folder by the name called apps. So I'm saying apps dot. Now inside the app I have got different app name. So I want to target category underscore app. So I would say dot category underscore app. So I would say that this app is actually a package I have created because it has got underscore init.py, and inside that I have created an app by the name called category underscore app, which is also a package because it also has got underscore init. And now I want to target the file called models.py, which is actually my if this are the package, then that the model would be my, what would you call it? Well, you rightly guessed, it is called module. So my model is actually the module. So I type the module name because inside the module I have a file. Module is a file actually which holds this particular class. So I want to import that class. So import, and what do you want to import? Import the name of the model is called category. That's what I want to import. I hit the enter, and it is not showing any error. So that means I have been successfully able to connect to this particular model. So again I'm telling you how did I achieve this. From the keyword, and then I have to mention the first package name, within which I have got one more package which is basically a Django app, and inside that I have got a module called models, and inside that I have got the class called category. Well, if you really want to check whether it has successfully able to connect or not, you can do one thing. You can just write category and then you can hit the enter. It will show you the entire path. Look, app is there right over here. Inside that I have a folder by the name called category underscore app, and inside that I have a file called model, and therein I have got within I have got the class name that is called category. So it has rightly able to connect. So now we are good to start with. So let me collapse this window and let me come to this file where I have jotted down few of the commands for making the thing faster. The first thing is that I want to insert record, or I want to insert a tuple inside my PostgreSQL. Okay, how to do that? Remember, over here this is my app name, category underscore app, and the model name is called category, because when you are creating a model in Django, it starts first with the app name followed by the category name, and we already saw that my app name was category underscore app. That was my app name, and my model name, as we saw, it's called category. Okay, we already did come across that. So now if I click on this, it will show me that it has got only 5 tuples are there already, right? So now what I want to do is that I want to insert a new tuple right over here. So how do I do this? So for that reason, we have got something called model comes in picture. Let me copy and paste this command. So what I'm showing is that first I'm mentioning the model name, that is called category. It gives a call to a manager. So object over here is actually a manager who is actually connecting your class with that of the table. Remember, this is a table in PostgreSQL, but we are working in Python Django, and Django we have got a class. So somebody has to connect the class which is there in the Django with that of the table that exists in Postgres, and that will be done by the model manager. So object is basically referred as model manager, and within this object there are different type of functions are there, and that's the reason it is called ORM, object relational mapper. So one of the function is called create. So create function will be responsible for performing an insert query according to SQL. And here is the attribute name, that is name. Since I have got only 2 attributes, the first one is auto increment, so I will not give any data for this. And this is my second attribute, that is called name, and what data I want to insert, and that's what I will be typing over here. Suppose I want to insert a tuple by the name called OS. That's what I want to insert. So let me write it over here. That is called OS. So OS is going to be my tuple, and I hit the enter. As I do that, it shows that yes, it has able to insert the data successfully, and to get through it, come over here and click on the reload button, and you see a new tuple get inserted by the name the name and the value is called OS, and the ID gets generated automatically, and that is 6. So what actually I did, please take a very minute note. Over here I gave a call to my model, because the model name, as we saw just now, was category. Inside the model it has got a mapper. So this object is actually the mapper which connects your class, that is a model, with that of your table present in Postgres, and it is basically performing the insert operation. Well, I'm saying that it's insert operation. Would you love to see that actually it is an insert operation? How do you get to see that? Well, for that reason we can give a call to a special method, that is the following statement. Let me come over here, let me provide this. So what we are doing is that we are giving a call to Django.db. Now remember one thing, if you come to the model, you will find over here we are actually inheriting this package, that is Django.db, and from there we are inheriting the module that is called model. So you can say so that in Django, whenever you are creating any model, that model is actually going to inherit the base class that is called model. So if you click on this, it will take you to a new file which is showing you that this is a class called model. So the summary that you can draw from this line is, whenever you are creating a model in any Django application or app, basically that model is going to inherit from the base class, and that is called Django.db, and it's the model class. So Django.db.model, and from there we are getting the model class. So always keep it in mind. So for that reason we are giving a call to this package called Django.db import connection. So what this connection will do is that I hit the enter. This connection will provide us something called dot queries. So let me copy this and let me paste it over here, and now as I hit the enter, I was saying a few minutes ago that when you give a call to this create, it actually gave a call to an insert query. Let me show you that. I hit the enter, and now you can see it really gave a call to the insert query. Please take a note over here. This is exactly the insert query which we often see. So that means whenever you are giving a call to ORM, object will convert your regular class or regular query methods like create into subsequent SQL statement, and that's the proof I'm showing it to you that this is how you can prove, you can see that actually ORM is performing this conversion, or object mapper is converting this, and it's been very visibly available. So look over here, how you're getting the data. You're getting the data in the form of a list, and within the list there is a dictionary. So it is just showing only one SQL query. Why it is showing only one? Because I have just now connected, or I just executed only one SQL query. So if I execute more SQL query, will I be able to see them as well? Of course you can, and I will be showing you in fact. So the first SQL mapper which I showed you, or the ORM mapper I showed you, was how to insert a tuple, right? I believe this is much clear to you now. Okay, so let's go for querying the data. So I want to retrieve the data. That means the data that is there in my PostgreSQL table, I want to see it inside Django and with the help of ORM. Well, let me clear the screen, and now we come to the part of querying data. So again, the object mapper is going to provide you a special function called all. With the help of the all, you can get the data. So let me paste it. So remember, over here first you're writing the model name, that is called category, again the mapper you are given, and then you have given dot all, and I hit the enter. As I do that, it's showing you something very interesting. Please take a note. When you are giving a call to the mapper function dot all, it will pick up the data from your Postgres table or SQLite table, and then will show the data in the form of query set. Yes, you rightly heard, it will provide the data in the form of query set. See, it's a query set, and in the set you get to see the first tuple, the second tuple, the third tuple, the fourth tuple, and the fifth tuple. So it has shown you all the tuples, but in the form of a query set, and that's the reason why you need to convert this, you need to typecast this into Python object form. Then only this data will be displayed in Django. Well, that's a different topic altogether, but just an additional note I have mentioned. Remember, when you're picking the data from with the help of the mapper.all, you are going to get the data in the form of query set, and this query set directly you cannot display it in the Django. So you have to go for typecasting. You have to convert this, right? Okay, nonetheless, so we got to see the data. But wait, I said that this is something the mapper is giving a call, but behind the scene connection object is there, right? So for that reason I will just undo the previous command connection.queries, and I will show you that this dot all method is basically working as a substitute of select query. I hit the enter now, and now you will be seeing the list once again, and it is showing the previous SQL query which we have executed, where we performed the insert operation, and the second SQL query which I have executed just now. The output which you are seeing above is the select query. See, it has able to select the ID, it has able to select the category and the name of the category, and it has from the table name it has shown. And look over here, limit 21, that means in one go it can show you maximum 21 tuples, but over here I've just got how many tuples? Only 5 tuples are there. So that's it. So that means the object mapper of ORM is playing an awesome role of converting your regular like the class, because your model is a class, right? Your regular class that contains method into subsequent SQL queries. Simply mind-blowing, right? So remember this. Okay, so we have selected all the rows, but what if I just want to select a specific number of rows? How about that? Well, that also you can do it. Like as you can see right over here, it's saying that I want to go with third bracket and colon. I just want to go with the first 3 record, so I'm writing 3, third bracket close, and I hit the enter. This time it would get the data only 3 tuples, 1, 2 and 3. So far so good, right? So it is up to you to determine whether to see all the record or whether to see a specific number of record. I know you might be wondering, but where is the where condition? I will come to that. So till now both the SQL queries are without any condition. So either you can select all by giving call to all method, or else you can select all with the specific delimiter. Based on that it will show you that specific number of records. But now we will love to see the where condition. Okay, let me clear the screen once again, and this time I'm going with certain where condition. Please take a very minute note over here. Now when you're going for where condition, we have got quite different options. The first option is to give a call to the get method. So let me copy this and let me paste it over here, and let me run the query. So what I'm saying is that only show that tuple which has got the ID 2. Well, how about ID 4? Yeah, let me do that. So it will bring me the ID 4 that I'm expecting. This particular tuple, which is the name would be web design. I hit the enter and it has successfully able to pick up the data. So it is a where condition. So select with the where condition, it is working. Would you like to check the query, connection query, to see whether how exactly the query works? Of course you can. Look over here. Here you have got the where and the ID is 4. Right? This is how the SQL ORM is going to work. That's really so simple, so nice of you. But one small thing you have to be very careful about this. What is that? Well, let me clear the screen once again. What if I come up with such a data that actually does not exist? Like for example, if I say ID number 1, do I have any tuple whose ID is 1? The answer is no. Well, in that case, what will happen? This is something which you need to be very careful. In that case, it would generate a big issue. See, so many statements came up. So you have to be very careful that if you will give a call to get method of object mapper, and in that case if data is not there, so it might cause this kind of issue. So you have to be very careful. Okay, but to resolve this problem, what we can do is that we have got another option, and that is called filter. So I will show you another way of retrieving data. So let me copy this and let me paste it over here. So instead of writing get method, you can also write a filter method. And how the filter is going to work? Filter is saying that, well, show me the data whose, well, I can even go with ID also, but this time I'm choosing the name attribute. So I'm saying that show me the data whose name is network. How about that? Okay, so far so good. I write this and I hit the enter, and exactly you are seeing the same, a similar kind of output which you just now saw in case of get method. Then you will say, what a big deal about this? Okay, I want to show you the connection query X once again, and look over here. This is also the similar kind of thing over the name I've given, and it is also showing very smoothly, right? So now you might be asking me the question that what a big deal, I could have done the same thing with the get method. The big deal is that, okay, let me clear the screen. The big deal is that what if I write a data which does not exist? There is nothing called networks. Few minutes ago in case of get, you saw it came up with a lot of issues, a lot of exceptions came up, but filter is very sweet. As I hit the enter, when you don't have a record, it will just return an empty set. So far so good, really very cute. So instead of writing get, you can go for filter. The advantage which you are getting is that if the data is there, it will show you, and if the data is not there, in that case it will show you just an empty set. At least it will not generate so many issues in front of you, right? And let me show you once again. It has a record, so it showed it. But in case if I say go for iOS, which does not exist, it will return me the empty set. Really cute, isn't it? So filter is one of the good choice. Well, how about getting the data in the form of a boolean value? Well, that also you can do it. Let me just copy this one and let me paste it over here. We know that there is no ID by 1, and I want to check whether the record is existing or not. I gave a call to another nested function that is called exist. I hit the enter and saying that false because ID 1 as a tuple is not there. So in that case I'm getting the value as false. But what if it was there? Let's go and give the value, suppose 3. We know that this ID record exists and it gives the value true. So with the help of exist also you can do this kind of verifications really in the form of boolean. So very smart way it can handle. Now I will show you another very nice way of using the ORM, that is called exclude. Well, let me clear the screen once again, and I'm saying that show me the record, or show me all the record excluding a particular record. Like for example, I don't want to see the data which is related to network. Apart from that, show me all the record. Really very nice, isn't it? So yes, let me hit the enter now. It will show me all the tuples. See, DBMS came, web technology came, website design came, but network is not there, OS is there. That's really good. So excluding the search criteria, rest of the other tuples you are going to get. Okay, how do you see this in the connection queries? Let's go and check this time how it is showing for this particular case. And here it comes, it says that where not. Look, so previously you are going through the where condition, but if you want to go for exclude, it is basically making use of the SQL that is called where not. So what I tried to do through this particular video is that I'm trying to show you the respective SQL that is getting converted automatically by the mapper in context to the specific method. So I believe this will be really helpful for your future. Okay, so let me clear the screen once again, and that's what the basic search operation was. And now let's go for the update part. This is also very nice. There are different way you can do it. I have collected two different ways for making use of update. So let me copy this, let me paste it over here, let me tell you what I'm doing. Well, I'm saying that go to the model called category, then the mapper object.filter is a function, and I'm saying that search for the record like for example network, and update the network data into something called server network. How about that? Okay, suppose I am saying that, not server, it doesn't sound good. Suppose Windows 2000 server. Okay, yes, I am just updating the network to Windows 2000 server. That means this network data has to be there, right? If it is not there, then of course this part of the query will not work. So just like the exist, this is also another nested function that is getting called. I hit the record and it says one record got updated. That's the reason you are seeing one over here. So let's come over here, let's reload the tab, and it's showing that C network got updated to Windows 2000 servers. So far so really good. But what if I just fire this query once again, because this time I know that there is no data by the name called network. What about this? There is no record been updated, so you just see the 0. So it is returning the data. It is returning the data whether it was been able to update or not. So if it is able to update, then it will return a numeric value, and if it fails to update, then it will return 0. Okay. So filter is going to return multiple instances. In case of get, it will return only one instance if it is available. So it's like get me a glass of water. You cannot get two glasses of water at the same time, right? You will be bringing only one glass of water. So get is like it will return only one instance of the tuple. But suppose the same instance has been there multiple times, so filter will work in that case. It will update all the record or for all the instances that has got the same value. That means over here maybe there was another network tab or Windows 2000 server that also will be updated. So it will be updating multiple instances. Okay. So now we saw that with the help of filter we can update the record, but suppose I want to do it in a different way, and for that reason we will use something called get. As I was saying that I want to update a specific one, right? So in that case what I do is that first I'm copying get. Again, remember, get ensure that the data has to be there. It has to be ensure that data has to be there. Suppose I'm going for OS this time, so the OS record has to be there, and then only this is going to work. So an OS in all in uppercase. As I hit the enter, nothing comes because the information is stored over in the category. So if you print the category over here, you will be able to see that it is showing the record OS. That means it has been successfully able to retrieve that. Okay. Now what I will do is that inside the category I have got the OS query set is there. I want to rename the attribute, right, whose name is name. So I will say category dot name. I'm saying category dot name because name is the attribute, and what name I want to give? I want to give the name as iOS. So I write iOS. So from OS, okay, before I fire this command, let me run the option once again. So it's still OS. So I'm saying that change the OS to iOS. I hit the enter. Okay, it has been done successfully, but did the impact take place over here? Let's go and run it. The answer is no. No, you have just written the attribute and now you have to save it. Okay, if I go and fire the category option once again, let's see what happens. It has been able to like edit. You have to able to update it, but it's not yet saved. So for that reason we have to give a call to the save option, which actually will save the record. That means from OS it will get updated to iOS. So far so good. Let's run the application once again, and now you see OS been replaced by iOS. So you have got two different ways of doing. You can go for filter and you can go for get also. The beauty of get is that you select the record first, and since if you have got multiple attributes, so you can specify them one by one. Suppose I had an attribute over here description, so that also I need to update. So I would have written that category dot name, whatever name you want to give, category dot description, I want to go for that. Suppose category dot status was there, I could have gone for category status as boolean. So multiple attribute you can edit them, and then finally you will go for the save method. So that's the reason why they have come up with two different approach. One is a filter where you directly update a particular attribute by a specific field name, or you can and the get method will allow you to update all the attribute as of your choice. Okay, so that's what the part of update is. And last but not the least, we have to go for what? The delete part. Okay, let's clear the screen, and we have been seeing, okay, we have been seeing for a long time different queries. So let's go and check one more time the connection queries, and look, the list is becoming growing up. So over here, just few minutes ago, we performed the update operation on the, then see over here we gave a new data called iOS where the ID was 6, that also been been tracked. So it has been able to find out that, but I was not mentioning the ID, I was mentioning the name of the attribute which was having what I gave the value, but it has been able to convert that, and it has been able to find the ID of the respective one. Okay, so that's how the thing is working. Okay, so now let's go for the delete. Again, the same thing, I can do it. First you search the record. If you are sure the record is there, then you go for get. So with the help of get, you have to be very specific the record is there, otherwise it will come up with a big issue, like as you can see over here. So be very sure when you are firing get. So I will go for, suppose, ID number 5. I'm removing the ID number 5. Just a second. So I need to write equal to ID number 5. So this will remove the data and it will keep a track inside the category. So if you want, you can print the category alone to see whether it has been able to track the tuple or not. Yes, it has been able to track, and now you give a call to the mapper function called delete. Really, that's very sweet. And I hit the enter, and it has been able to delete one record. So it's showing that it has been able to delete a particular record. So let's run the code. Over here it's still showing, but once I reload the tab, that won't be there. So it has been able to show you that how many instance, or it has been able to delete on one of the instance. So that also got figured out right over here. Okay, but this is something we did with the get. We can do the similar thing with the help of filter also, because filter also performs the search operation. So if I go and if I copy this and if I paste it over here, consider that ID number 1 is not there, which is actually not there, but it will not come up with a big issue. See, it didn't come up with a big issue. It says that there is no record there is no record. So 0 means there is no record by the ID number 2. So I was unable to delete that, which is quite fine. So get you should use when you're very sure that ID is actually present, or whichever attribute you're using for deleting the tuple is actually there. Otherwise you can go for filter. This is much safer way of doing it. So now I will be deleting, suppose, which one I will delete? Okay, go for like 2. I want to delete the record number 2. So I'm saying ID, what is the ID of that? ID of 2 is, okay, then I want to delete the ID number 3, web technology. How about that? So I'm deleting the ID whose ID is 3, and then you first you're performing the search operation. Once the search is done, and then you will go for delete option, and the record is deleted over here. See, it's showing that yes, there is an ID. There is one record which I have been able to delete, so it's showing the number, okay, 1. So naturally the ID number 3, this particular tuple, won't be there once I reload the tab, and it's been gone off. And lastly, before I clear the screen one more time, I want to run the query just to show you the list of records what we have been doing. See, just look at the way the list has grown up. It has kept the track of all the thing. So really good, isn't it? So it has been able to remove the ID record 3, and it has been successfully able to commit that. So commit means you are actually performing the ACID property in context to database transaction. We know that ACID means atomic, consistency, isolation, and durability. So that's what the transaction manager has to take care. That's what the object manager has to do. That every time you fire the ORM, it has to ensure that the transaction is been executed safely and the database is in a persistent state. So that's the big deal about ORM. I believe this video will be very helpful. We have seen all the different type of ORM functionalities of the object mapper. So please go through this video multiple times and try to practice them, because ultimately these ORM functions we are going to use inside Django. So before we go inside the Django, I just showed you hands-on that how inside the shell of Django Python you can work on these ORMs. Okay, so that's all from this video presentation. Hope you liked it. See you soon. Take care.